It has been such a long time since I have done a sketchbook ideas video, even a drawing or painting ideas video actually. These things take forever to make. It's hard to pump them out fast. That's why I only do a couple a year anymore. But today we have 7 drawing and painting ideas. They're super vibrant colors. So if you want a little mood boost, enjoy the color schemes. With that being said, let's get started. Let's draw a bunny for this first idea. You're gonna start with 2 ovals and then attach a circle to the bottom, do some circles for the eyes, a little upside down triangle for the nose, and then we're gonna do little bows between the head and the ears. Now I am coloring everything in with some markers. As always, you can use whatever supplies you have on hand that make you feel most comfortable. You do not have to go out and buy anything for this to work. Next, I'm drawing a little body, put a little collar on the shirt, and I'm continuing to color in this bunny. Now, I want you to think of this bunny as a not so planned, go with the flow drawing exercise. So you can see parts of this are colored in and parts of this are still in the sketching phase. It's a little bit chaotic, but I think it lends itself to a lot of freedom as we go. So I colored in the whole bunny head and now I moved on to the outfit. I kept everything solid and simple. I'm using this yellow color for spring. Fun stuff. After that, I went back to the eyes because it was feeling creepy without the eyes and I had to color it in. Next, we switch to colored pencil. Again, you can use whatever supplies you have, so if you only have one thing, don't worry about it. But I'm switching to colored pencil, and I'm doing a little bit of shading here and there to make everything look softer. And one of the things I'm doing is a delicate outline around everything. This will just make all the features stand out a little more, and then when we add more detail later, if you choose to do that part, it will pop a little better. Okay, so after I did some shading around the eyes, I started shading the cheeks to simulate blush. I think this is so fun and cute for little animal doodles. And then I just added some highlights here and there. Next, we're gonna move on to adding the little glares on the eyes, some little highlights for the eyelids, around the mouth, and then we're gonna move on to the shirt. Now the shirt was really fun because I pulled colors from parts of the bunny to incorporate details into the shirt pattern. So here you can see the color from the ears is going directly into the shirt. I don't even take time to care that we're overlapping it with yellow. It all works out. Next, I'm shading the shirt, and you can stop at this point if you want. But if your confidence is boosted and you feel brave, you can do what I'm doing. So let's draw a bunch of stripes behind this bunny like so. You can pick whatever color you want. I'm just using pink again because I love having a limited color palette. If you're somebody who gets overwhelmed easily with a lot of choices, this might be a really good thing for you. Now, after you have all your vertical lines, we're gonna do some horizontal ones. I just jumped to it so you don't have to watch that again. And then every little overlapping segment, you're gonna color in a little bit darker. And now you have a gingham pattern. So it's feeling a little picnicky, a little springy, a little fun. Maybe we can make this a little bit cozier. What do you think? First, I'm gonna touch some stuff up. We have to add details to the top. There we go. I'm gonna add some little flowers to all the corners. Now it's looking cottagecore, right? You can stop here if you want, or you can amp it up, outline your flowers. You can amp it up a little more, outline your little gingham pattern in the background. And then if you really want to step it up, you can put leaves around the flowers like this. I did little squiggles at the end like this, and I added a couple little dots on each sides of the squiggle. Here's how it turned out. Hope it inspires you. All right, we're gonna do an easier idea for the next one. So if you want a little mindless activity, You can take some paint to your sketchbook. Just cover your page with gesso first, like what I just showed you. Now I'm gonna do a little pink underlayer. This will show through with this one because we're purposely getting messy. Take a paintbrush. You're only gonna need that same paintbrush this whole time, and just do blobs. Blobs, pick a color, and then you're gonna ever so slightly shift that color, and you're gonna do a little gradient effect. So add more blobs. I'm making this orange here. I'm gonna turn that orange a little more yellow. Add a little bit of yellow to the color. Now I'm adding more yellow to the color. So this is a really great thing to do in your sketchbook or just anywhere really, because while you're doing this seemingly mindless exercise, you're over there on your paint palette mixing colors. And if you're somebody who is just learning to paint or you're learning about color theory, this is going to improve your understanding on how colors work. So the point of this exercise isn't so much about how it looks, even though I do think it looks cool, but it's the knowledge that you gain along the way. But also if you just want a mindless activity and you're really experienced with mixing color, highly suggest this one too. It was so fun. This is probably my favorite drawing idea in this entire video, but we're gonna draw a little flower pot. And then we're gonna put little eyes on it, a big wonky nose, and a big old smile. You can put legs on your flower pot, and then just do squiggles draping out of the top of it, just like this. Now I did this in pencil, and then I took an eraser and lightened all the lines. Now I'm going in with marker to kind of color block everything. That's kind of the technique I've been into lately before switching to colored pencil. So do all those squiggles with green, put dots all around them. No rhyme or reason really, just make sure they're attached to the little squiggle lines. That's what you want. This is a string of pearls succulent that we're drawing. Now pick a color for your pot. I chose a regular terracotta color. I thought it was fun, and color it in. You can choose a fun color for the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. I'm keeping everything simple and just doing the same color for all of that. And then I'm going through the dirt and coloring that in. Once you get to this point and you have all your color blocked in, you can continue using marker to add texture if you want, or you can switch to colored pencil like I'm doing. And you know me, I love blush. I had to add it. And now I'm doing those delicate outlines with my colored pencil. It makes things look soft, kind of cartoony. And then I'm shading different parts of the pot. Now with a lot of my sketchbook videos, these are the drawings that I turn into stickers. So if you're seeing something and you're like, wow, that would make a great sticker, I would love that. Check my shop in like 2 weeks. There's usually a little delay, but these things usually come out in like 2 or 3 weeks. So yeah, this one will be a sticker. I outlined everything and then I just did little white highlights on all the plant parts, and here you go. It was really simple, but very time consuming, but I think it's worth trying. Well, how you feeling? Are you feeling more inspired? Maybe confident in your creating? Are you feeling excited to make art? I hope that's what you're feeling so far with this video. I just wanted to pause right here and say, if you're new here, welcome. Feel free to subscribe to my channel because I have years and years worth of drawing, painting, and sketchbook idea videos that you can go back and watch and feel fully inspired with so much stuff to make. In addition to that, I'm always making new idea videos for your benefit. So yeah, I would love to have you join the art family so you can enjoy tons of ideas. And there's a lot of other random videos on my channel, so enjoy. Remember that super cute bunny drawing at the beginning of this video? I felt like that one was kind of complicated, so I'm gonna offer you a little simpler version of a similar thing. This time we're doing a bear, so draw your circle, draw your little half circles for the ears, and then color it in. At this point, you can start thinking about the details you want for the face. I'm just doing 2 big eyes, a triangle for the nose, and then drawing a circle around the nose to simulate the mouth. Little bit of shading around the eyes, little bit of blush, but heart-shaped blush because we're changing it up. Now I like those delicate little outlines around my illustrations, so I took my colored pencil for that. You can stop at this point if you want, but if you're feeling brave, you can do a checkerboard background like what I'm doing here. Pick a color that you're feeling for the day and just roll with it. This is one of my favorite colors, so that's why I chose it really. No rhyme or reason. Now, once you're finished with the checkerboard pattern, you can take a colored pencil and do a squiggly, wobbly outline around all of the drawing. I'm adding flowers now where the little squiggles change directions and softening things up with little hearts. It kind of feels cozier after these tiny little details at the end are added, and I just had a lot of fun with it. I changed the white checkers to super light pink to make it feel warmer, and there you go. Let's block off a square in our sketchbook with some tape. You can use any tape, masking tape, washi tape, just don't use like the clear stuff. All right, gesso time. We're just gonna put this pile here and cover the page just like this. Once you have your whole page uniformly covered, let that dry for a little bit. Now I'm gonna fill my paint palette over here and we're gonna start painting in the sketchbook. Oh, here's my big old white tub of paint. So I did my pink underpainting like this. And now this idea is really fun. I think for somebody who wants to learn how to paint more, this will push you a little bit, but it will also let you be messy. Look at the pink background. Keep it in mind and let it show through. Do big, globby brush strokes for this one. So I did some clouds. Now I'm just gonna outline those clouds with blue sky, but messy style, because we want the pink to show through. So now I'm adding this lavender lilac colored purple within the clouds and in the sky just for some color variation. And now I'm taking some yellow and doing little dots everywhere for flowers. It's like a field of dandelions. It's spring here in Ohio. Dandelions are everywhere. They're beautiful. I'm loving it. So now this is tedious, but paint around every single yellow dot. But be messy because you want that pink to show through. This is a style that I gravitate toward for my larger paintings, but practicing it in your sketchbook is just kind of fun. And letting a really vibrant color like that show through when you're trying to be gestural and messy and loosen your brush strokes, I feel like it just makes you feel more brave. I don't know, there's something about it. If you try it, let me know if you feel more brave. Anyway, there's the painting. You did grass, flowers, field, sky. Yay. Do you ever approach your sketchbook and you don't know what to draw and you're just sitting there staring at your art supplies and you're like, what's next? Well, hey, guess what you can do? Draw your art supplies. I'm gonna draw this crusty old palette that I had sitting with all my paint palettes, and no, it was not the one that I showed in the last idea. That one is covered. Now, I drew the outline of this butcher tray, and now I'm using a gray colored pencil to shade it. I can't promise you have this same paint palette at home, so if you're drawing an art supply, just look at what your art supplies looks like. But this is gonna get really fun because I am going to do mixed media for this and just take my paint tubes and barely dab the page with the paint. Now, before you go thinking, okay, this is wasteful, what are you doing? Just wait until you see what happens next. First, let me add some white from this massive tub of paint here. So now you're gonna take that and just start mixing colors. And again, if you're trying to learn how color works, this might be a really good learning experience for you. So just mix stuff and see what happens. It's all on your imaginary palette that you can save later, and you kind of gain an understanding about how color interacts with each other. And then you have a really cool looking, colorful palette in your sketchbook. And it's really fun to look back on it. I'm a huge fan of pages that are just filled with color, and something that's simple like this, that was more of like a learning activity. I don't know, fun to look back on it. So, hope it inspires you. I painted a little paintbrush next to it just for funsies. You can skip that if you want. Are you ready for the final drawing idea? Yes, this one's gonna be fun. So I'm doing another checkerboard pattern. Why? I think I'm just really into checkerboard patterns right now. I don't really know. It just was fun when I was making this video. But I chose this bright pink color because it's spring. And I'm going to fill most of my page with this, but leave some margin on all the sides. You will need it later. All right, pick a color, any color. I'm choosing green, and now I'm adding scallops around all the edges of this entire checkerboard pattern. Just keep repeating this, and each scallop is gonna be the width of every square. That way it feels uniform, and it's really easy to keep track of where you're at, and all the scallops will line up together. Now I'm taking the same green color, but in colored pencil form, and I'm doing like a heart in each one, but a little stem coming up from it. Now at this point, you can start thinking about what colors you want to use next, because those are going to be the tops of your flowers. You're going to draw a half circle like this, and then 3 little scallops on the top, and now you have tulips. So I chose 3 different colors. The first one here is pink. And I'm just doing a little pattern. Every 3 squares are going to be different. So I have pink, orange, and then the next color will be yellow. Fill your whole square however you want. Spoiler alert, this one will be a sticker later because I really loved making it. And I think it looks so cute on a water bottle. But next I'm drawing little rounded triangles like this. And what we're doing is just drawing the body of a strawberry. Take that green color again, draw some little ovally leaves up top. This is a very repetitive drawing exercise. There's not a lot to it, not really shading or anything, but you're practicing a pattern, and that's just really fun. And if you're looking for something mindless to do when you're watching a show or something, this is a pretty good one, or like an audiobook, whatever you prefer to do in your spare time. I also added like little scalloped flowers in between each scallop too. I don't know, just 3 little petals. It was pretty easy. And then I did these curved V's in between all of those. And it looked kind of complicated. Kind of looks like a postage stamp. I liked it. It was fun. Alrighty, so those are the drawing and painting ideas for today. I will start working on another type of video like this. I do have to say, these kinds of videos are the longest ones to film and edit. They take forever because I have to come up with the ideas, film them, and then editing takes forever. It really does. And that's why I don't pump these videos out as often as I used to, but I still really love making them. So I'm just gonna start on the next one and work on it slowly, and it'll come out when it comes out. Also, I said this earlier in the video, but some of the designs from this video will become stickers in my shop at mirabyler.com. Check my shop in like 2 or 3 weeks, they'll be there. If you don't want to wait, I also did a spring drop recently with tons of cool new stuff, so you can check out mirabyler.com still. I'll link it down below for your convenience, but It's a cool way to get stickers, prints to decorate your home, recipe cards, washi tape, a lot of other cool stuff, and you're supporting a small artist. How cool is that? Anyway, that's my little shop pitch at the end of this video, but thanks for hanging out. Have a beautiful day. Bye.